Welcome to Yatim Khana and Madrasa Anjuman Kharul Islam's Pune College of Art, Science and Commerce Camp Pune 1. Myself Dr. Arif Lamboli, working as Associate Professor in the Department of Electronic Science. Today we are going to study the concept of virtual ground and real ground and earthing in electronic circuit. So earthing is also very important part of the electronic circuits and some electronic instruments. So let us start virtual ground and real ground and earthing in electronic circuit. This is a very simple and important topic in electronic engineering as well as electrical engineering. You must have a clear knowledge about virtual ground and real ground. Real ground means it physically exists. Real ground is physically exist or when the terminal are physically connected to the ground or earth to get the zero potential, then it is called real grounding. Real ground refers to the reference point, generally zero potential. So real ground is having a zero potential, that is a zero voltage. So real ground refers to the reference point. So we treat that point as a reference point, but the potential of that reference point must be zero. So real ground refers to the reference point in any electrical or electronic circuit. In a real grounding system, generally all negative terminals of input and output. So in electronic circuit, we apply the input, we take the output. So input signal whenever you apply, whether it is a sine wave or whether it is a DC voltage. So there is a sine wave for live and neutral, means two terminals are there. For DC voltage, there is positive and negative, means two terminals are there. So in this way, all negative terminals of input and output are connected to the negative terminal of the power supply in case single phase and connected to reference pin in case of dual power supply. So this we are going to study with the help of diagrams only. Now you just read it and after some time you will understand all the things very clear with the help of a diagram. Now virtual ground means what? Virtual ground in electronic circuit. Virtual ground refers to a point or a node which is not physically connected to the earth or ground, but the voltage at that point or node is 0 volt. So virtual ground is a point which is not physically connected to the earthing or to the ground in electronic circuit, but the voltage at that point is or node is 0 volt. So that also we are going to study. As the voltage at that point is 0, like a ground potential, because ground voltage is 0 voltage, therefore it is called as virtual ground. So virtual, why it is said? Because it is not physically connected to the earth or ground, but the voltage is 0, therefore it is said as a virtual. So now let us start for understanding with the help of a diagram. So virtual ground is a node that does not sink or absorb any current. So in electronics, operational amplifier is one IC to which we apply dual power supply plus VCC minus VE. And when we apply the dual power supply to the IC741 of the op amp, you might have been observed that there is no ground pin directly connected to the op amp. But circuits gets completed because we do apply the input with reference to the ground of the power supply. We do take the output with reference to the ground of the power supply, and in this way the entire circuit gets completed, and therefore in that dual power supply the center terminal of the two batteries is called as ground terminal. So that we are going to study slowly. Virtual ground point maintain at a steady potential, generally zero potential, without being connected directly to the actual reference potential of 0 volt. So this is the introduction about virtual ground, and in case of op amp I am going to show you number of circuit diagrams and applications, and I am going to show you the real ground and virtual ground in the op amp. So applications of a virtual ground. We can see the applications of virtual ground in many electronic circuits while deriving the equation for the output voltage of op-amp. So without taking the help of virtual ground, we cannot derive 90% equations of the op-amp. So we must take the voltage at a virtual ground VA is equal to 0 volt, and then we can derive the equation. As shown in the diagram below, virtual ground and real ground are shown. This is application of op-amp as inverting amplifier, and now from henceforth you will understand with the help of a diagram. So now you can see that this is a plus VCC, one battery 12 volt, this is a minus VE, another battery of 12 volt, but both the batteries are connected in series to each other, and junction point of the battery is declared as ground or reference point. So now application of the op-amp, which we are going to now see here. So this is our circuit diagram of inverting amplifier, op-amp as inverting amplifier. So you can notice this op-amp as inverting amplifier. So here this is op-amp as inverting amplifier. Input voltage Vin is applied through the input resistor R1 to the inverting terminal. RF is a feedback resistor. Now this triangle symbol is a symbol of op-amp where there is inverting input, non-inverting input, and this is our point of interest today, plus VCC and minus VE. What do you mean by plus VCC and minus VE? It is a dual power supply. How does the dual power supply is constructed? See here, two batteries connected in series. Left hand side batteries, this terminal is plus VCC. Right hand side is this negative terminal, it is a minus VE, and the center point is called ground point or reference point. Now, in this diagram, this non-inverting terminal is connected to ground. This ground is nothing but the ground of dual power supply. Input voltage Vin is AC voltage. There is a live upper side and there is a neutral lower side. So this neutral is nothing but a ground of AC input voltage. So this ground and this ground are connected to each other, and these both grounds are also connected to the power supply's ground of op-amp, and therefore this is called real ground. Means if you measure the voltage between these 2 points, you will get voltage as a 0 volt only, because voltage is always measured with reference to any point. So there should be one reference point. So with reference to any point, the voltage is measured. Now what I said, if you measure the voltage between these 2 points, means multimeter is connected one terminal here and another terminal here, then you will get this voltage as a 0 volt. In this way here, this point, these points are connected to the ground of the power supply, and all these 3 points combining together are declared as a real ground. Now where is the virtual ground? See here, this is the virtual ground. So at the junction of input resistor R1 and feedback resistor RF, this point in the op-amp is always referred as a point A, which is called virtual ground. Now here dot 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 blue line is shown and then it is shown ground. So it is not connected to the ground. But if you measure the voltage at this point with the help of a voltmeter, by connecting positive terminal of the voltmeter here and negative terminal of the voltmeter to the any ground, because all grounds are common, then you will observe this voltage is 0 volt. And that is why it is said that this point is not directly or physically connected to the ground. Then also the voltage at this point is equal to the voltage of ground. Therefore, this is called as virtual ground. And that is what here everything is mentioned. In case of this virtual ground refers to a point or a node which is not physically connected to the earth or ground, but voltage at that point or node is 0. So in this way, this is one of the example of op-amp as a inverting amplifier, and like that I am going to show you many examples. Now in this diagram, this dual power supply is designed by using two batteries. So these two batteries we are going to study in detail how it is converted AC voltage into DC and dual power supply is designed. Now let us go to the one more example in which there is no virtual ground, there is only real ground, and in that case op-amp is not used, therefore there is no virtual ground. So this here, see, as shown in the diagram below, all negative terminals, even the negative terminal of the power supply, are connected together and they are physically connected to the ground or zero potential, and this is called real ground. So here again the concept of virtual ground is again mentioned. Virtual ground refers to a point or a node which is not physically connected to earth or ground, but the voltage at that point is zero. Now we are going to see one diagram in which transistor is used as amplifier. Here op-amp is used as an inverting amplifier. Now the diagram of transistor as an amplifier. Look at this. In this diagram, this is plus VCC and this is ground. Means this plus VCC and ground is nothing but your single battery. Only one battery out of these two batteries. Here this is only one battery. So this will be the plus VCC and negative of the battery will be ground. So this ground. So remove this portion. So this we don't want because we don't want a dual power supply. So plus VCC and ground, this single battery is used in case of a transistor as amplifier. And if you look at this plus VCC and ground, this is the power supply. So now when you apply the input voltage as a sine wave, as I told you earlier, live and neutral. Neutral is a ground. So that neutral of input AC voltage is connected to the ground of the battery, means negative terminal of the battery. Output voltage is also measured with reference to that ground at the collector. At the collector. And in this diagram, you will observe that there is a real ground. There is no virtual ground. So here in this diagram, at all points, certain voltage exists. There is no single point where the voltage is 0 volt. Therefore, here there is no virtual ground. So this is very simple. Now let us proceed how to fabricate this plus VCC and ground, or how to design a DC power supply with the help of AC mains power supply and rectifier circuits. So again you are going to understand the concept of real ground in electronic circuits. So let us go. That power supply might be designed by using an AC input signal and half wave rectifier. So half wave rectifier's output is DC. But if you just use the resistor R, the output is pulsating DC. The output is pulsating DC, but AC mains frequency is 50 Hertz. Therefore, we don't feel that much problem. But to remove that pulsating signal, we use capacitor. So it is a AC input signal 230 volt. This is a transformer. The diode act as a what unidirectional device. So it passes current in only one direction, that converts AC into DC. Here filter is used and you will get a very smooth DC waveform. So this power supply, which I have shown here, a single power supply, is designed either by half wave rectifier, or I will show one more example. Input AC voltage is applied to the step down transformer, but this transformer is center tap transformer. This is a centrally tapped terminal, and this is a full wave rectifier. In full wave rectifier there are two diodes, namely diode D1 and D2, and this is your RL load resistor. Here you will get DC output. In this rectifier, center tap transformer is must, and that is the disadvantage of full wave rectifier. To convert both half cycles, positive and negative half cycle, into DC, we must use center tap transformer. Now, what is center tap transformer? That you just try to understand here. I am going to explain you in detail. Center terminal is declared as reference point or ground point. Center terminal is declared as reference point or ground point. Now, above the center terminal, there is L1 coil of the secondary of the transformer, where you get a sine wave, and there is another L2 coil below the center tap terminal of the transformer, and you will get one more sine wave. But there is a 180-degree phase shift between these two sine waves, because this sine wave is measured at L1 with reference to the center terminal, and this sine wave is also measured at L2, this terminal, with reference to again same terminal, that is the center terminal. And here this ground and these grounds are connected to each other, which are not shown in this diagram, but you can understand this symbol and this symbol are same, therefore it is connected like that. And this is nothing but your real ground. Why it is a real ground? Because here you have connected RL, and current flowing through this RL and goes to this ground, and then current goes through from this ground to the center terminal of the transformer. Means in this case real ground is absorbing the current. Current is passing through RL, going to the real ground. Therefore this is connected then to the center, and it is said that real ground absorbs the current. Virtual ground does not absorb the current. Now come to the op-amp again. Why virtual ground does not absorb the current? Because of V in, some current IN is flowing through R1. This IN will come at the junction, but input resistance of the op-amp is in mega ohm. Ideal op-amp should not absorb any current, but ideal is imaginary term. Practical op-amp is there which is having input resistor in mega ohm and it absorbs microampere or less than microampere current. Therefore, this point, if you look at the A point, what it is doing, input current, this point A is In is the input current, it is directly diverting to the feedback resistor RF. Absorption of the current is negligible, means this point A does not absorbs the current, but voltage at that point A is 0 volt. So this is the difference. So as far as voltage is concerned, the voltage of virtual ground is similar to the virtual voltage of real ground. But now as far as current is concerned, the real ground absorbs the current. Real ground absorbs the current. See here, full wave rectifier. This is the ground, real ground. When current flows through D1, it goes through RL, it absorbs this, take it like this, and it goes to here. When this is conducting, current goes through RL and then it goes like that. So real ground absorbs the current, but virtual ground does not absorbs the current. Virtual ground diverts the current to the feedback path, and that is the very important point. Now let us go to the, again, DC voltage can be designed single power supply with the help of half wave rectifier, as I told you, with the help of full wave rectifier, or with the help of a bridge rectifier. See here, now here in this bridge rectifier, primary, secondary, input AC voltage, 4 diodes are used. Now when in positive half cycle this D1 will conduct, here if you connect the load resistor RL, here if you connect the load resistor RL, across that RL output DC will be developed, and through the load resistor current flows, the current goes like this and then current goes like this, like this. So here diagonal diode conducts. So this diode, when it is conducting, this is also conducting, current goes like this through this and then current goes like this. Means here this point you can declare as a ground. This point you can declare as a ground, and that will be a real ground because current flows through the RL and goes to the real ground. It absorbs the current and it passes to the, yes, another terminal of secondary of transformer. So in this way, this is one more example of what, bridge rectifier. Now you have designed a single battery with the help of half wave rectifier, full wave rectifier, bridge rectifier. Full wave rectifier requires center tap transformer. Now let us go to the dual power supply concept. So in dual power supply concept, first of all, I will tell you what is a real dual power supply. So here, look at this. It is center tap transformer. Now this center tap transformer is used for a bridge circuit. In fact, for a bridge rectifier, you don't require a center tap transformer, but here it is used. Why? Because to generate the ground, that is called reference point. So here see, when you talk about diodes like this, now here when positive half cycle, means here the positive half cycle of the sine wave is going on. In center tap transformer there are two sine waves at the secondary, sine wave at L1 coil and sine wave at L2 coil, but both the sine waves are in 180-degree phase. So we are going to study in detail that. So here when positive half is going on of that sine wave, here negative is going on. Therefore, when positive half is going on here, this diode is conducting, current passes through this, current goes to this, and then current comes to this, through this, sorry, to this diode, and then to this, and then goes like this. So this center point is a reference point. So these two diodes conducts during positive half cycle. Positive half cycle is like this, then this diode conducts, then current goes through this, current goes through this. We have used two resistors in series. We'll see that later on. We have used two resistors in series. Current goes like this, then through this diode, and then the current goes to this of the transformer. Now during negative half cycle, means when here negative is going on, here positive is going on. So this way the diode current starts flowing and this diode conducts. Now current goes like this and this way. Now here what we have done, we have declared the center terminal of the transformer as a reference point or as a ground. Therefore this we have connected to the junction of these two resistors R1 and R2. Now this point and this point is the output of bridge circuit. This point and this point is the input of bridge circuit. So you know bridge rectifier's input is AC, output is DC. So this DC output between these two red terminal, you can see here red terminals, is converted into two voltages by using potential divider. Is converted into two voltages by using potential divider, and junction is connected to the center terminal of the transformer, that is the reference point, that is the ground. And here in this way, these two capacitors are connected across resistor to hold a particular DC voltage which is present across this resistor, across this capacitor. And therefore here, this is a 0 volt and ground. And with reference to this 0 and ground, here if it is 6 volt plus, then here it is a minus 6 volt. And this is the dual power supply. Now, dual power supply is also designed by using not only potential divider circuit, by using voltage regulating ICs. So look at this diagram now. A center tap transformer is used. Center terminal is declared as a reference point, that is a ground for all. Bridge rectifier is used. This bridge rectifier converts AC into DC. Here this is the AC input applied to the bridge rectifier. So up, top and bottom are the inputs. Left hand side and right hand side are the outputs. So here this DC output, what we have done, this DC output we have divided into two parts by using two capacitors, C1 and C2. So like that, both the capacitors of the same value, and junction of capacitor is connected to the reference point, that is center terminal of the center tap transformer. Now there are two voltages here, V1, here V2. With reference to this point, if you measure this, this will be plus. With reference to this point, if you measure, this will be minus. So this is positive voltage regulating IC 78XX. This is negative voltage regulating IC 79XX. So input is the negative, output is negative. Input is positive, output is positive. And look at this. All the capacitors' job is only to hold the DC voltage across it. Here this 3 terminal pin is having input DC voltage, output also DC voltage and ground. But input DC voltage, even though it is a greater than its excess value, output will be equal to XX. For example, 7805, XX means 05. Input if it is 10 volt, output will be 05 because it is a voltage regulating IC. So in this way you will get here plus voltage and here you will get minus voltage with reference to this ground. So I am again explaining you the concept of ground. Now you connected the load. Look at this. What is the load? Very simple, LED and a resistor. So current flows through the resistor and LED and goes to ground. Means ground absorbs the current. Here again, you have also connected the LED. So this LED is connected such that cathode is at negative terminal. Look at this cathode. Cathode is at negative terminal. Therefore, even though you feel that this is a 0 volt, how does this LED will glow? This LED will glow because its cathode voltage is minus 5, minus 10, minus 9, whatever, and anode voltage is 0. Therefore, this LED will also glow. This will also glow, no doubt, because its anode is at positive voltage and cathode is to the 0. So in this way here, you have understood how to design or fabricate dual power supply with the help of AC mains circuit. So AC mains means 230 volt AC by using center tap transformer and bridge rectifier. Now this is not a dual power supply, it is two power supply. It is, you can look it here, it is a plus 12 volt and it is a plus 5 volt. So bridge rectifier is used, same bridge rectifier, 4 diodes. Output of bridge rectifier is taken across the capacitor, that is a DC. Here input of the bridge rectifier is left hand side and right hand side is the input terminals. Top and bottom are the output terminals. So diodes are placed in a different order. So accordingly you can design the bridge rectifier. Here this DC voltage is simultaneously given to this voltage regulating IC and this voltage regulating IC. Therefore this DC voltage support is this 12 volt, and if this is 7805, so it will give 5 volt, and if it is 12 volt input, here it is getting 12 volt output. So normally this is greater than the output 12 volt. Suppose it is 15 volt, so here it is 7805, then it is a 5 volt getting. 15 volt is here, then here you are getting 12 volt. And where is the ground? This is the ground. See here, this ground. So if you connect the load over here, the current will flow through that load and will go to the ground. And this is a here. Here, center tap transformer is not used. But this is not, try to understand, this is not a dual power supply. It is two voltage power supply, plus 12 and plus 5. So in dual power supply, 99.99% what is used? Center tap transformer is used. This is the example of dual power supply. By regulating ICs, center tap transformer is used. This is the example of dual power supply by potential divider circuit. R1 and R2 center tap transformer is used. Now suppose if you have a single battery DC which is designed by half wave rectifier, full wave rectifier or bridge rectifier, as I told you already. Suppose this single battery of DC 12 volt is there or 15 volt it is there. You can convert this single battery into a dual battery. How come? If it is a 12 volt, connect R1 and R2 of the same value, divide that potential. So here, this terminal will be your reference point. But now look at here. This is called virtual ground. This is called virtual ground because in this diagram, you try to understand, in this diagram, we have not connected any load over here. We have not connected any load means no resistor, no LED like that. Here also we have not connected any load. Therefore, in this diagram, by using potential divider, what is the role of capacitor? The role of capacitor is again to hold the voltage across resistor, whatever it is there here. Suppose now you take this 12 volt and R1 and R2 1 kilo ohm and 1 kilo ohm. Now you know potential divider very well. R2 divided by R1 plus R2 is the voltage at this point. Now at this point, if you measure the voltage with reference to this point, negative of the battery, you will get plus 6 volt. Try to understand. At this point, means junction of R1 and R2, which you call Vx or Va, by calculating by using the formula R2 divided by R1 plus R2 into Vin, what you will get? You will get 6 volt here. But now then here it is said it is a ground. How come? Because here we are measuring the voltage not at this point. We are measuring the voltage at upper terminal of resistor R1 and at lower terminal of resistor R2 with reference to this center terminal. Therefore, if you connect the voltmeter with negative here and positive here, you will get minus 6 volt. And if you connect voltmeter with negative here and plus over here, you will get plus 6 volt because I told you R1, R2 equal to same and this is your 12 volt. So this is a dual power supply only, but this ground is a virtual ground, not a real ground. This will get converted into a real ground when you connect the resistor or when you connect the load at that time. Now under this condition, it is virtual ground. Now same thing will be here. If you have a 24 volt battery, then you can convert that 24 volt battery into a dual power supply. How come? Take the two capacitors C1 and C2, connect it to here, declare the center of junction of the capacitor as a reference point. This capacitor voltage and this capacitor voltage will be total voltage. If you measure here and here, you will get 24 volt. But if you measure here and here, you will get 12 volt. If you measure here and here, again you will get 12 volt. But see here, what I said, here and here you will get 12 volt, here and here you will get 12 volt, means this will be the reference point for measurement of voltage across C2. Here and here means here this will be the reference point for the measurement of voltage across C1. But if I declare this as a reference point and connect the voltmeters positive negative over here and permanently voltmeters negative over here, reference point ground, positive of voltmeter if I connect here, I will get here, yes, how much? I will get plus 12 volt and here I will get minus 12 volt. So in this way here, this reference point is changed. Now you might get confused here. You will say, sir, this point is at plus 24 volt. This point is at plus 24 volt. Then when I connect the voltmeter with negative here and positive here, how do I get 12 volt? Because voltmeter I have connected negative here. If I connect the voltmeter negative terminal over here, that is negative to the battery, and positive terminal of the voltmeter over here, that is positive of the battery, you will get 24 volt only, no doubt. And this we are going to study after some time. So now just you remember, I have used this point as a reference point. Therefore here I will get plus 12 volt and here I will get minus 12 volt. This 12 volt is applied as a input to the regulating IC. So this will produce plus 12. This will produce minus 12, and this point is called reference point. This point is called reference point. See, now I am saying reference point. So this reference point will be virtual ground if you don't connect anything over here, and this reference point will be real ground if you connect a resistor over here. Current will pass through that, and this point will absorb the current. This point will absorb the current. Now if you want to measure the voltage at this point, then you have to measure the voltage at this point with reference to this point only here. So that is the voltage between short circuit terminal is always 0 volt. So in this way here, this is a dual power supply. One more example we'll take. See here, this is the input voltage V in, a potential divider 10k 10k. So when 10k 10k is there, same resistors are there. So V in will be divided into equal part, and here it is V in divided by 2 plus, and here it is minus. Observe here sign, minus V in divided by 2, and this point we have declared as a what point? Reference point. Now this is a virtual ground because you have not connected any load. This is a virtual ground because we have not connected any load. The voltage at this point with reference to this junction is 0 volt. Is 0 volt. Now see here what happens. If you take a voltmeter plus upper side minus lower side, if you take a voltmeter DC plus upper side minus lower side, and voltmeters negative if you connect over here, that is negative to the battery, and voltmeters positive if you connect over here, that is to the junction of these two, definitely you will get plus V in by 2. Definitely you will get plus V in by 2 because your voltmeters negative is to the negative of battery, means you have changed the reference point. But if you connect the voltmeters negative to the reference point which is declared here, and positive of voltmeter over here, you will get minus V in by 2. You will get minus V in by 2. So that will study slowly. So here again the same example of what? Bridge rectifier with center tap transformer and potential divider. So here you will get plus 6, minus 6, or plus VCC and minus VA, but this is a real ground. This is a real ground because now current is flowing through this R1, absorbed by this ground, goes like this. Okay. So in this way, this is a bridge rectifier. Then again, this side, as I told you earlier, only a bridge rectifier with center tap transformer but dual power supply with voltage regulating IC series 78XX positive regulator, 79XX negative regulator. Now let us go to the understanding of, this is again one more example of dual battery, 9 volt and 9 volt. So already this is a dual power supply. Why? Because this point will be declared as a reference point. Here plus 9 and here minus 9. But one dual power supply of two battery is used to make another dual power supply. But this dual power supply is of 9 volt plus minus, and this is plus minus 5 volt. So here it will be plus 5 volt and here will be minus 5 volt. So 7805 voltage regulating IC is used, to which the input is applied as a plus 9 volt. With this capacitor holds that plus 9 volt. Here this capacitor will hold minus 9 volt. This minus comes over here and this here. So input to this 79, here you look at this. This is the minus because this is the minus 9. This is plus 9 with reference to this center terminal. And in this way here, this IC is negative voltage regulator. This is a positive voltage regulator. You will get plus 5 volt here, minus 5 volt here. Now here see, if I take the voltmeter such that positive of the voltmeter is here and negative of the voltmeter is here, then I will get 10 volt. Then I will get 10 volt. So here also I can explain this here. You have two batteries, 9 volt and 9 volt. Take a voltmeter DC. Take a DC voltmeter, plus and minus two terminal are there. Minus terminal you connect here, and plus terminal you connect at the upper terminal of the upper battery. You will get 18 volt. You will get 18 volt. We'll see that. So this is a center tap transformer. Now the center tap transformers is having one beauty. What is the beauty? It is said that in center tap transformer you apply one sine wave. You give the one sine wave of AC max voltage. Center tap transformer gives you two sine wave, and the two sine waves are in opposite to phase with each other. But it is compulsory that you must measure this sine wave as well as this sine wave with reference to center terminal. Then you will get opposite phase to each other. So what is the logic behind that? I will tell you. Let us go to the now what? This is again a potential battery. So here I have tried to show that center tap transformer is used. AC voltage is there. AC is converted into DC by using bridge rectifier. Look at the bridge rectifier. Top terminal and bottom terminal are input AC. Right hand side and left hand side are output DC. Connected to the potential divider. Center is over here. This is plus. This is minus with reference to this center terminal. So this circuit, entire circuit is nothing but this plus VCC and minus V. So plus VCC you will get over here, this plus VCC minus VE you will get over here, and this center terminal, that is 0 volt and ground, is over here. So this is your symbol of dual power supply with the help of two batteries, and this is actual circuit of dual power supply with the help of AC mains voltage 230 volt, center tap transformer, bridge rectifier, and potential divider. Instead of potential divider, you can also use, as I told you, voltage regulating ICs. So at the output that you will get plus here, minus here. So it is simple. Next. Yes, so here I have also that diagram. So AC input voltage 230 volt AC, center tap transformer. Here plus 15 minus 15 is the, sorry, 15 0 15 transformer it is said. So this is a rectifier, bridge rectifier. It is written plus and minus because this right hand side and left hand side are the output, means DC output. Top and bottom are the input. Top and bottom are the input. Input is AC, output is DC. This DC is divided into two voltages by using two capacitors in series. Junction of the capacitor, remember here, this is very important. Dual power supply must have center tap transformer. So junction of capacitor is declared as ground and it is connected to this. Look at the ground symbol. Now here, when you say suppose this is your plus 15 volt, this is suppose minus 15 volt, then this is applied to the voltage regulating IC 7812. So input 15 but output regulated to 12 volt. Input 15 but output will regulate it to minus 12 volt. These ICs look like that, 3-pin terminal IC 123, 123. But here in case of positive voltage regulator, pin number 1 is input, pin number 2 is ground, pin number 3 is output. In case of negative voltage regulating IC, it is little bit reverse. See here pins. Pin number 2 is input, 1 is ground and 3 is output because it is a negative regulating IC. And this is a dual power supply circuit, and dual power supply we show as a symbol like this with the help of batteries because these two DC voltages are as good as batteries, plus 12 with respect to ground, minus 12 with respect to ground. So this is our final output which we always observe, plus 12 ground, minus 12 with respect to this ground. Okay, now let us come to the again various applications of the op-amp in which virtual ground is used. So here you can see it's very simple, op-amp as an integrator. So I have shown here the power supply first because in op-amp we always write plus VCC and minus V, and we don't know this is what and this is what. So this plus VCC is nothing but left hand side of the first battery B1. This minus VE is nothing but right hand side of the second battery B2. And ground, op-amp does not have any ground pin, see. But ground is what? Whenever you apply the input, input is live and neutral, it is having a neutral as a ground. So that ground and this power supply's ground is connected to each other. That is important. Now non-inverting terminal not used, it is integrator, it is grounded. Where to connect this ground? This ground is to be connected to the ground of input signal as well as ground of dual power supply. Output is measured at the output terminal across the RL with reference to ground. Which ground? All grounds are connected at a common terminal. Input voltage ground, output measured is also measured with respect to ground and dual power supply ground. So this is called your real ground. Okay, this 1, 2, 3 and this 4. So all these terminals are real ground terminal. Where is virtual ground? Here you see. This is a virtual ground of the op-amp because input current I in when it comes to this point, it get diverted 99.90% to the feedback path. Input resistance of op-amp is very high, therefore it does not absorbs the current, it does not sinks the current, and in this way this is the concept of virtual ground and real ground. So definition is very simple. This is a another diagram in which power supply is not only shown, only ground is shown. So it is to be understood that this ground is connected to the ground of the power supply, and input voltage, whether it is AC or DC, that is applied with respect to ground. Next application, see here, op-amp as inverting amplifier. So input voltage is applied through R1, RF is there, minus plus VCC minus V. What is plus VCC? Left hand side is battery, positive terminal. What is minus V? Right hand side battery is negative terminal. All grounds you see here. Input power supply, live and neutral. Neutral is a ground. That ground is connected to this ground. So all the grounds are common. That is called real ground. This is virtual ground. Next. Op-amp as voltage adder. V1, V2, V3. Three voltages are applied through R1, R2, R3 comes to this point, and these 2 points are called virtual ground. The voltage, if you measure at this point with the help of voltmeter, by connecting voltmeter positive here and negative to the ground, you will get 0 volt. But this point is not connected directly or physically or actually to the real ground, but voltage is 0, therefore it is virtual ground. What is a power supply plus VCC? Left hand side of the B1 battery, minus V, right hand side of the B1 battery. What is ground? Center terminal of the both batteries. So this V1, V2, V3, it may be DC voltage, it may be AC voltage with respect to neutral or with respect to negative. So all that negatives, all that neutral are also connected to this terminal, and this is also connected to this terminal. So in this way here, four voltages V1, V2, V3, V4. This is virtual ground. This is real ground. This real ground is connected over here. All V1, V2, V3, V4 only written, but it is DC plus and minus, so that negative should be connected to this ground. If it is AC, live and neutral, it is connected to this ground. So in this way here, one more application. It is subtractor. This point is called virtual ground, and virtual grounds, this point is 0 volt. So here again the plus 12 and minus 12, and this is real ground. This is virtual ground. What is the plus 12? Plus 12 is the left hand side of the positive battery. Minus 12 is the right hand side, that is negative of the battery B2. Ground is this ground. So very simple, it's everything. Now we'll go to the next topic, which is called reference point in voltage measurement. In voltage measurement, reference point plays a very important role. So let us see here. Same dual power supply I am taking. You call this as a dual power supply. Plus VCC will be plus 12 volt because this battery is 12 volt. Minus V equal to minus 12 volt because this battery is again 12 volt. Now why here a minus? Because you measure reference point here. So negative you connected over here. See here. This voltmeter I have connected such that DC voltmeter, plus and minus. Minus I connected permanently here. Minus I connected permanently here because this I declare as a reference point. Positive I connected to the plus VCC. So now voltmeter is very simple, connected such that positive of voltmeter goes to positive of 12 volt battery, negative of voltmeter goes to negative of 12 volt battery. So it will show me 12 volt. So what is the reference point? This is the reference point. Let us come to the next. I will keep the same voltmeter. Negative is connected to the reference point, but positive of the voltmeter, now not here. I have taken that, and positive of the voltmeter is connected to negative of this battery B2. Now look at the connections. Voltmeter's negative is coming to the reference point, but your reference point is the junction of negative and positive of the two batteries. And now positive of the battery B2 is connected to the negative of voltmeter, and positive of the voltmeter is connected to the negative of the battery B2. Therefore, this voltmeter will show 12 volt. And that is why I told you why it is a minus, because this reference point you have not changed. Okay, let us proceed further. Now if I take the same dual power supply, but voltmeter I have such that I am not using this as a reference point now. Now I am using negative terminal battery B2s as a reference point, and I connected over here. So these two batteries are in series. So this will show me plus 24 volt. This will show me plus 24 volt, and that is the role of reference point in voltage measurement. So here reference point I changed. I got here 24 volt. Okay, let us further proceed. Suppose if I take again a dual power supply, but vertical I will take, and this is plus 15 volt battery, this is again plus 15 volt battery. We declare the center point, that is junction of two battery, as a reference point, as a reference point. Now when you talk about, if there is no this voltmeter, when you talk about these two batteries with center point as a reference, this will be your plus VCC equal to plus 15, this will be minus V is equal to minus 15, because with reference to this point only you must measure the voltage, because you declared this as a reference point. So here when I measure the voltage at this point with reference to this, means by connecting voltmeter over here like this here, I will get here at this point how much volt? 15 volt. But if I measure the voltage over here with reference to this point, reference point means negative of voltmeter must be connected to that reference point. Negative of voltmeter must be connected to that reference point. So this positive if I connect here, no doubt positive of voltmeter goes to positive of battery, negative of voltmeter goes to negative of battery. This will give me 15 volt. But see here, same connection is here, but positive I have changed from here and I have connected over here. Now negative of the voltmeter goes to ground reference point, no doubt, but this is going to the positive of the lower battery. Negative of voltmeter is going to the positive of lower battery, positive of the voltmeter is going to negative of lower battery, and I will get minus 15, because reference point is this. You connected voltmeter oppositely. There is a condition for you, restriction for you here. You must connect voltmeters negative at reference point. Therefore, this is a dual power supply plus 15 and minus 15. Now I will change the reference point. Let us see what happens. Here, see, negative of voltmeter, I have not connected to the reference point. I have connected this negative of voltmeter to negative of lower battery. Means this is my reference point now. And positive of voltmeter I have connected to the reference point, which is nothing but positive of the lower battery. So this voltmeter will show me plus 15. In the similar manner, if I take two batteries in series and if I declare this as a reference point where I connect a negative of voltmeter and this as a plus over here, these two batteries are in series. I am not bothering or I'm not taking the care of the reference point declared by you. I am connecting this over here. I am connecting this over here. So I am getting 30 volt. So measurement of voltage is very important because it depends on reference point. It depends on reference point. Now logic you see here. I'll just show you. Suppose if I have this junction as a reference point center and I am strictly obeying your instructions, means I am not going to disturb the negative of voltmeter. I am keeping it permanently here only because you declare this as a reference point. So this I am not changing at all. I am changing only positive of the voltmeter. Sometime I connect here, I will get plus 15. Sometime I connect over here, I am getting minus 15. This is the DC voltage, battery B1. This is the DC voltage, battery B2. So when I obey the instruction of the reference point, I will get plus here and I will get minus here for DC voltages. But now let us imagine if I obey the instruction of the reference point and if I replace this AC, this by AC voltage source and this by AC voltage source. Now in AC voltage measurement, there are no polarity. In AC voltage measurement, there are no polarity because your live voltage is sometime in positive half cycle, sometime in negative half cycle. Neutral is neutral electrically. We are coming to that point. Neutral is electrically neutral. It is 0 volt. Now, if I replace this by AC voltage source, what will happen? This AC voltage source and this AC voltage source. So now this voltmeter will not work there. You must take the AC voltmeter, but AC voltmeter will not show any polarity because AC voltage is not having a polarity. So live terminal is sometime plus and sometime minus, means sometime in positive half cycle, sometime in negative half cycle with reference to neutral, which is 0 volt. So what is the waveform or what will be the voltages? So let us try to understand that. Suppose this is our AC voltage source single, you will get sine wave over here. Look at this now. I have two voltages, namely V1 and V2 as AC, and I have declared the junction of that two as a reference point. And this is the reference point. With reference to this only, I must measure the voltage at this point, upper point, and at this lower point. Therefore, it is said that when in case of DC, when you said here is plus and here is minus, therefore, in case of AC, there is no polarity. Therefore, here it is said that this terminal, when it is in positive half cycle, means when it is plus, it has to be minus, then this will be in negative half cycle. And as it is AC, it cannot be remain in permanently in positive half cycle. It will go in negative half cycle. So when it is going in negative half cycle, this will be opposite of that. It is going in positive half cycle, and therefore it is said that in case of center tap transformer, I will come to that now. Center tap transformer is secondary voltage, secondary coils voltage. L1 and L2, two coils are there. So secondary coil L1 and L2 are the voltage sources only, but it is a AC voltage source. So we'll come to that. So here, why there is a 180-degree phase between sine wave present at this terminal with reference to this terminal, and 180-degree phase between this sine wave and that sine wave, means sine wave present at this terminal, of course with reference to this terminal only. Now we'll change the reference points here. We'll change the reference point. This is not reference point now. Now this is reference point. Then if you measure the sine wave over here, you will get sine wave positive half, negative half of suppose 9 volt. And then if you measure the sine wave over here, you will get the sine wave of positive half and negative half. But here, remember, this sine wave is 9 volt, this is 9 volt, therefore this will be sine wave of, yes, 18 volt. This will be the sine wave of 18 volt, which is not shown here as a big sine wave. We'll come to that later on. But try to understand, if you measure this sine wave between this point and this point, so it is like this only. But now here the reference point is this. So here if you measure this 9 volt and this 9 volt, this will be 18 volt sine wave and this will be 9 volt sine wave. So let us clear that. In case of DC voltage, if you don't change the reference point, this will be plus 15, this will be minus 15. If you replace the DC by AC, when here positive is going on, here negative is going on, and when there negative going on, here positive is going on. So that is the logic of generation of two sine waves of 180-degree phase shift by using two voltage sources, of course AC, but junction is a reference point. The junction point is a reference point. So in this way here, now let us look at this transformer. Input is only one sine wave, 230 volt primary. Secondary you see here, secondary is having three terminal, center tap. Secondary is having a three terminal, that is called center tap. Now here, with reference to this, condition is what? With reference to this is declared as a ground and reference point. If you measure the sine wave at this point, you will get positive half cycle, and at the same time here you will get negative half cycle. When negative half cycle is going on here at the upper terminal of L1, when negative sign is going on here at the upper terminal of L1, positive is going on at the lower terminal of L2. This will divided into L1 and L2, two inductors. See here, this is important now. If you measure this point and this point, in between this point and this point, this sine wave is measured with reference to this point. So it will be double of that. If it is 9 volt and if it is 9 volt, this will be 18 volt. This will be 18 volt. And this is the beauty of center tap transformer. You can apply 230 volt AC voltage as a only one sine wave to the primary, and across the secondary there are three terminals: center terminal, upper terminal, lower terminal. Center terminal is declared as a reference point, so you will get two sine waves with reference to reference point. Upper terminal of L1 you will get positive half, lower terminal of L2 you will get negative half. Upper terminal of L1 when negative is going on, here lower terminal of L2 positive is going on. Therefore it is said that in center tap transformer there are two sine waves generated with reference to center terminal, and they are in 180-degree phase to each other. But not necessary. You can select this terminal, upper terminal of L1, lower terminal of L2, you get 18 volt sine wave also. Means it is a direct step down also can be considered 230 volt to 18 volt, or you can consider as a center tap. So normally center tap transformers are widely purchased. And in this way, in today's lecture, here see this is one more example. Input is given to the primary and this is the output. So here somewhat like this positive half and negative half, and here it is negative half and positive half. This is a reference point. Remember, this is a reference point. So positive half cycle when it is going on at upper terminal of L1, negative is going on here, and vice versa. I will show you the images here. 180-degree phase shift sine wave. So there, this is, can you see this blue color? This is the one sine wave. This is one sine wave. So blue color, and this is your yellow color. So this yellow color sine waves here. When positive half cycle is going here, here negative is going, and when negative is going over here, yellow, blue's positive is going. So this is the output of one center tap transformer of, say, suppose 6 volt, 6 volt magnitude. So like that, and here it is double another. So there is one violet sine wave. Violet sine wave is going like this, and there is one dark blue sine wave. This is a light blue, this is dark blue, this is a dark blue sine wave. So see the relation between violet sine wave and dark blue sine wave. When positive half cycle of dark blue sine wave is going on, once again I will repeat, when positive half cycle of dark blue sine wave is going on, at that time negative half cycle of violet sine wave is going on. And look at this negative cycle of violet. Peak is here and this peak is here, so it is a positive peak and it is a negative peak. So exactly 180-degree phase shift between input and output of sine wave. So these are the output of two transformers. One is the yellow and light blue, another is violet and dark blue. So with this, today we'll conclude that our understanding about earth, real ground and virtual ground is completed. In the next lecture we'll go to understanding the earthing. In home there are so many instruments which are used and which is having a 3-pin plug. So we'll see that 3-pin plug is why must or necessary in case of certain equipments. For example, your refrigerator, for example, power cord of your computer, power cord of the laptop, then electric geyser, then your iron which is used for pressing the cloths, and there are so many other instruments. Thank you very much for watching this video. See you in the next lecture. Thank you.